Hi guys, and welcome to this week's Alakazam vlog. Right,
how are you?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, very well. Been a good week.
So it has been a good week, and the new site is getting closer, so I've been once again working a lot on that.
Yeah.
But we've got 3 items to talk to the people about today, our lovely friends at home.
Yeah, this one today when we're filming it has just come in.
Yeah.
And how is it? Is it not Manville, is it?
Manabelle.
We'll talk about that. And a couple from the bowl.
Yes.
We've been getting some really good feedback of people actually saying, I didn't know that you had this trick or that trick, and stuff that we've had for a long while. People get into magic every day, and this stuff is working stuff. So
yeah,
we've got ES Perfect, the project.
Yes.
And Captivate.
Captive. Yes.
So let's start with this one.
Okay, ES Perfect is a trick that I came up with a few years ago. I'll give you the background to this actually. Many years ago, and I believe it was either the first or second Magic Circle Dealers Day I ever attended with Alakazam.
Yeah.
I had my good friend Mozzie come down from Derby, stayed at my house on the Friday before we were going to the convention or the Dealers Day, and we were showing each other tricks, and he showed me the old one. Do you know when you used to give someone 5 cards? You would have 5 cards, you both put them behind your back, mix them up, turn one face up, and when you bring it out, the face up card matches or the face down card matches. And I really like the idea of the trick. It's an old thing, it's in beginners magazines or, you know, beginners books and everything. But I said to him, wouldn't it be great if that could happen, but in the open, you know? So there's no putting the cards behind your back, it just happens. Yeah. So we sat there, and I remember we were sort of having a bottle of beer, sitting there, we were coming up with all these different ideas, and then I shot upstairs, grabbed some bits and bobs, come down, and we actually made up a trick called Beyond Belief, right, which we had on the market for a couple of years. Now, believe it or not, on that Friday night, we come up with the effect. I went upstairs, I typed out the instructions, we made up about 20 sets, took them to the Magic Circle, and I think they sold out in about an hour. It was a great little trick. And then I kept playing with it, we kept demoing it, I made it up, we released it properly, or what was properly back then. Yeah. And then I come up with ES Perfect. I come up with the idea of using ESP cards. Also I come up with some new handlings for it and different ways to handle the effect. And then over the years I come up with different presentations, one using a poker hand and one using blank cards and everything else. So what I put together was, even though ES Perfect had been out, the standalone trick with ESP cards, I brought out the ES Perfect project, which is what we have now. Now this comes complete with the ES Perfect routine, the ESP card one, but on the DVD I actually teach a few different variations that you can create yourself, and they take minutes to make up.
Cool.
And you'll see, if ever you look at the reviews of this trick, workers still use this all the time because it packs small, plays big to a spectator. You know, it's a great little thing.
You just carry it in your wallet everywhere.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at it then. Okay.
So this is ES Perfect. Inside here, I've got 5 blue cards. What I want you to do is just don't look at the faces just yet, but I want you to imagine that your 5 blue cards are the same as my 5 red cards. Okay. And that is, we have a wavy lines, we have a square, we have a circle, we have a cross, and we have a star. Okay. Okay, so the 5 standard ESP symbols. Yep. Okay, we're going to try 2 experiments with you. The first one is what we call a taster test. It really doesn't matter if you get it right or get it wrong. It's just to get you in tune with the symbols and just to give me an idea of what sort of ESP powers you possess. Okay. Okay. I'm going to actually give these, I'll leave them above the table so you know I'm not doing anything strange, but I'm going to give them a little bit of a mix just so you don't know what order they're in, and I am going to remove 1 card. Yeah. Okay, so I'm holding now either the circle, cross, wavy line, square, or star. Get one of those images in your mind. You got one? Are you thinking of the square? What are you thinking of?
The wavy line.
The wavy lines?
Yeah.
That's perfect. Okay, now you didn't have to get that right, but you did.
Yeah,
all
yeah.
right? So that allows me to believe that there's good things to come.
Right.
Now what I want you to do is pick up your cards. Please don't look at the faces, because I don't want you to influence your own choice in any way, shape or form. Okay, but I want you to start mixing them, and I'll show you how, just like this. Just mix them up so you don't know what order any of the cards are in, yes?
That's fair.
Okay, I'm going to hand you one of my cards. Just pop it on top and hand me any one of yours.
No.
You sure?
Yep.
Don't want to change your mind?
I'll take that one.
This one?
Yep.
Perfect. Okay, so here's the idea. You mix your cards.
Yeah.
I mix mine.
Yeah.
You gave me, I gave you my card before you gave me yours. So even if the cards were marked,
Yeah.
it wouldn't have made no difference because I gave you mine before you gave me yours. Okay.
Fair.
The idea with all of these type of experiments is for me to lay a card down and for you to get the sense that this is the card I've laid and you to hand me the same one. So if these two cards were to match, that would be pretty good.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
If you had to take a guess, which of the 5 symbols would you believe this is?
Circle.
Circle. No, you gave me the star.
Yeah.
Okay. But the whole point was for you to give me the same card I gave you. Have a look what I gave you. And I gave you the star. Now, bearing in mind, you could have handed me any one of these images, or at least you thought you could.
Yeah.
But what if I knew beforehand you would hand me the right card and that card would be the star? Would that be impressive?
Yeah.
Have a look at the rest of your cards. I wrote the message on each one.
You will choose the star. You will choose the star. You will choose the star. That's really, really cool.
It's a fantastic.
Do you know what? I've never seen that, actually. I haven't seen this trick.
It's awesome. The first way I used to do it was with blank cards. So there was no right and wrong.
Right.
But we felt that having you will choose the star just sort of added that bit more, you know.
No, I really like that.
And it gives that nice point where you can say, I know you're mostly thinking all the cards you're holding are stars. Have a look.
So then there's loads of routines using the principle.
Yeah, I've got a lovely poker routine on there where we swap one card and I always end up beating them no matter what card we swap, which is really cool. There is another one with sort of, I think it's win and lose.
Yeah.
It's a lovely little principle that allows for so many different presentations. But like I said, inside this pack, you receive this ready to go.
Right.
Okay, it comes in the original form with the ESP cards and the blank cards. If you want to do this, obviously you just write on it, you would choose a star, but I go over that on the DVD anyway. But this is one of those great little things. I know so many magicians and mentalists that do this round the tables or in strolling situations, because it all happens in the hands as well.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So it's ideal for strolling, ideal for table hopping, and it's that great sort of segue between mentalism and magic.
I'm going to have to,
you know.
I really like that.
It's a great
really
little,
cool.
It's a great little thing. So that is ES Perfect, and once again, the other great thing about it as well is it is self-working, or you know, within reason, it's self-working.
Yeah.
There's no sleight of hand, and there's some really nice little subtleties in there that I explain and some thoughts about, you know, various aspects of the routine. So that is ES Perfect, the project.
So a few weeks ago there was a trick released which magicians were going crazy over, called Offset.
Yeah, fantastic effect.
Really, really great. Very practical. The one that we're looking at today is by the same gentleman, Sebastian Calbury.
Yeah.
And it's called Manibel. Manibel?
Yeah.
Is it here? Card trick.
It is a card trick. It is a rising card. Show us it and then we'll talk.
Alright, okay. Pack of cards.
Yeah.
I'll try and do this here so we can see this. Take them out for me. All good?
Yeah.
We'll take it back. Place it in there. Is that good?
Yeah, it's about the middle.
About the middle. A little couple cups.
Oh, it's not in the middle anymore. That's near the bottom.
Yeah, well, there we go. I've got one of these. I don't know if you've seen one of these before.
No.
Basically, it's like a little handle.
Right.
If I put it in here,
Yeah.
in my ear, and I just turn it.
Oh, turn it back. And is that only for your tongue?
Yeah, well, it's only for my tongue, yeah. Yeah, that's not the trick though.
Right.
Because obviously I put that in my ear. If I take it here and I get a little bit of friction, I can actually, on the little plastic bit, actually end up sticking it.
Oh.
Yeah. Not only does it stick, but if I actually turn it, you'll actually see. Oh, just about hit. Oh, there we go. As
there
I turn
you go.
it, see one card rises out. Can you take that card? What was your card?
My card was the 4 of diamonds.
Take it out. Have a look. There's the 4 of diamonds.
And obviously that can be a sign card.
You flick and hit everything.
Yeah.
This is Manville.
It's the Italian blood. I've got to do that. Hey! Hey!
Right. What do you think?
My honest opinion is I think it would be great for the right comedy performance. We were discussing this before. I mean, the idea of having like a little handle and the card rising is by no means new.
No.
I used to do one years ago with, I can't even remember whose it was. It was like a little metal strip like this, and then it sort of come up to form a handle as well. Had like a little bit of rubber on it, and there was a hole in the side of the card case, and all you would do is you would push it in there, wind it, and their card would come up.
Yeah.
And it's a clever, fun little thing.
Yeah.
But when we were discussing it before, you made some valid points, which was with a rising card, you've got that element of magic and mystery because you're sort of nowhere near it, there's nothing connected to it, yet the card will rise. With this, you're sort of, this is one of those effects that I think when you do it, they're immediately going to think, oh yeah, that's making the card rise. And then it's only when they think back, they'll go, no, but how?
Yeah.
How could it? It's like the Chinese sticks. You know when you're going, so if I pull this one goes up. If I pull this one.
Yeah.
And they go, oh yeah, of course it will. And then when you go, but they're not connected.
Yeah, yeah.
They go, well.
Hold on a sec.
Yeah.
But I completely agree. I think this, with rising cards, you can play it as its own thing. Card sign selected, place in the box in a cup, say, oh, I'm going to concentrate. With this, I think you would throw, in my opinion, you would throw this in as a part of a larger card routine.
Yeah.
I think it's a very fun comedic moment and the magic happens. I personally wouldn't build a whole routine around the one effect.
No.
I would throw it in as part of something else as a real quirky, fun visual bit.
Yeah, or it might work well if you're doing sort of a parlour thing and this being one of the routines. And I think you've got to really have the right presentation for this. The gimmick is clever.
Yeah.
It's quite expensive. It's £50.
Yeah, about
£50.
But because what he's done now with the gimmick is he's made it all self-contained and practical for a worker if you wanted to work it. Yeah, it is practical. I just had a thought you could combine this with the original rising card. The fact
as a fake expose or something.
Yeah. So you place the box with the actual rising card gimmick in a cup and close the lid, which everyone that's got it knows that will give you a bit more time. As you go over here, you're explaining how it goes. Maybe 2 cards selected. This one will rise from how you do it, and then that one will rise on its own over there. Yeah.
So I think it has, I think it's got its uses. I think in the right hands, it could be really funny and really entertaining.
Yeah, definitely.
And the quality of the props are very good. Bearing in mind, this has literally just turned up, so there was really no performance there or anything. It was literally out of the box and doing it. Had a look how it worked, just so we could show you what it was, because it is brand new. But it is £50. You get, or around about 50, I'm not sure the exact price, but you get the little handle thing and you get the gimmick, so all you need to do is supply your own deck, isn't it?
Yeah. This is made of brass as well, I think.
Yeah, it's
not
good
plasticky.
quality.
It is good quality.
No, it's certainly good quality. But whether the £50 to you warrants this as a rising card compared to like Bromley's Ultra Slim, which is £15 or £20, whether that price difference.
Altogether, you could combine a nice routine. I think.
Yeah.
It definitely has its place, whether it's in every single performance you do. I don't think so, but I think you can build a nice performance around it.
I think it all depends on your style. If you've watched this and said to yourself, that's right up my street, then it's going to work for you. It's not the type of trick and performance I would do for a rising card, but I don't do really this sort of thing. But other people will look at it and go, yeah, that's great.
I definitely think with a bit more time, I could work out a nice fun routine with it.
And for kids, you imagine, even if you're a table hopper, you're doing a restaurant and there's a bunch of kids there, that's the type of thing that they'll love.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I was a bit ham-handed with it, but the presentation on the DVD and that is that they can actually turn the handle. Yeah. So, for kids,
bearing in mind you've given the DVD a 10-minute viewing, so, you know, we haven't really tried it. But that is Manivel, great quality props, great thinking, works very well, and yeah. Right,
so the final product we're going to be looking at this week is a cap-in bottle.
Yes.
Called Captive.
Called Captive by our very good friend Dominic Daly.
I don't know why I called it Captive, eh?
No, do you know what? It's spelled, I'm going to change the spelling of this on the website because I'm sure we have spelled it the same as that with a 3 and no one finds it. So I'm going to call it actually Captive. So type in Captive or Dominic Daly and it will come up. Now, we actually released this at FISM in Blackpool. And this was our bestseller. It is so visual.
It is.
It's great. The thing about Captive is basically a cap in bottle. Okay. Right. So in here you get some gimmicks and you get the DVD that teaches you how to set these up. The great thing about Captive is, once again, if you're at a bar, party, barbecue, anywhere like that, it will appear to be an impromptu miracle, and what they're left with is something they can take home, which is a sealed bottle with a bottle cap from a different drink inside. And I'm sure I also talk about ways to make it look like a freely selected bottle cap and everything else on the DVD. So this is one of those things that if you're in a bar, let's say you work, and a lot of people do, they've got residencies in bars and restaurants and everything else. You could set a couple of these up. They take about a minute and a half to set up. You can set a couple of them up, have them sitting behind a bar, and you're ready to do this miracle. Yeah, you know, and it's so nice. And the thing is, it happens right in front of their eyes while they're actually holding the bottle, which is, you know, hasn't really been done before.
And then they can straight away, once that moment of magic has happened, they're in charge of that bottle. They can check it, and they do. They're like, what? It is brilliant. Really great thinking.
It's really cool. This is something, even if you buy it and just set them up for your home. Yeah. You know, it is one of those. And once again, you know, we do say it, but this is that TV magic up close and real. It's like you've picked up this, you've picked up that, you've gone bang, given it to them, and they've got this sort of miracle with this impossible object that they're left with.
Looks great on a show reel.
Yeah,
really great.
It's awesome.
As good as it looks on a show reel, you'll see in a minute, it actually looks in real life. There's no, you know, it's instant magic and it's very visual.
Yeah. So the way I perform this, when I have performed it, is I would pick up a bottle and then I would have 5 or 6 different beer caps on the table from different drinks. Yeah. Or well, I'll explain this way forward. 5 or 6 different beer caps. I would take them, put them in my pocket, ask the spectator to rummage around and just take out any one. I'll bring out the remaining. They open their hand, I squeeze the cap, push it into the bottle. Yeah. The other way to do it, which is really nice, is if you imagine if we had 2 bottles, we're going to cut and show you this in a moment, but let's say we had a Smirnoff Ice and a J2O. And I said to you, look, we're going to just name one of the bottles.
Smirnoff.
Okay, hold your hand out, hold on to the Smirnoff. We'll use the cap off the J2O.
Nice, yeah.
And then vice versa.
That's nice.
Yeah. And it now seems really free, and when they think back, well, no, if I would have chose that one, it would have been that going into that, and you know, it's a really, really nice little effect. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut, because I want to sort of give you a close-up as if you were a spectator holding the bottle, if that makes sense. So you can see how clear this is. And also, I am using a Smirnoff Ice bottle for this, so the water's a bit cloudy, whereas, you know, obviously if you use a beer, it's a lot clearer.
Yeah, Coronas are great.
Yeah, Corona's Foster's Ice.
Yeah,
it's great. You've got the lovely shaped bottle, and it is quite a clear beer. You see everything happen. Smirnoff is like a cloudy water, so we'll show you with that, but we're going to try and get it right close up. Okay, so this is Captive. Okay guys, I'm going to show you Captive using this bottle of Smirnoff Ice. You're going to play the part of the spectator, so I'm going to use your hand just about here, and actually I'll put it this side so you get a clear view of the bottle. Put your other hand on top, and we're going to bring you just about to eye level, just there, and we're going to use a cap from a different bottle, which is a J2O. Now what you find is when they're blowing these sort of bottles, there's always a weak part. We call it the sweet spot, and if you find that spot and find it just right, you can get an object to penetrate without any of the liquid coming out, and with leaving the bottle intact, and they're usually just about there. Now that bottle is a sealed bottle of Smirnoff Ice with a cap from a J2O bottle inside, and that, my friends, is Captive. Right, so that was Captive. So just to recap, the 3 tricks we told you about today are ES Perfect, the project, Manivel, which is the rising card, and Captive by Dominic Bailey. They're all obviously available at Alakazam Magic. And next week we will be back with some more new goodies. Yeah. And maybe another one from the vault.
Yeah, I think so, because, you know, people are loving the stuff that they haven't seen, but it's there. If there is a ton of this stuff that we will be bringing out the vault. Yeah. But if you want to see it before we get to it, then it's the Alakazam own products. Yeah. It's down the...
And the thing is, on the vault as well, we are going to be looking at just classic tricks from old. You know, the thing is, there are people getting into Magic on a daily basis. Some of you guys may have only been into Magic the last year or so. And there have been some incredible effects that have come out over the last 10, 15 years that are seriously now, everyone's going, what's the newest thing? Really, you know, you start doing some of the old classics, which are still as strong today as they were back then. Yeah. Just look at Tribute to Verone. I haven't done that in the shop for 5 years. Yeah. Suddenly we started getting them in and demming them again.
We sold like every batch. Yeah. Because it's a worker.
Because it's still as good now as it was when it came out. And that's what we're going to show you. Stuff that's still as strong today as it was when it was originally released. And because it's an older effect, it means less people are doing it. So you're the one that's going to be standing out when you're actually doing this sort of stuff. So that's the vault section. We're going to try and grab at least one product from the vault every week, and it might be an Alakazam product, it might not be, but whatever it is, it will be an effect that's seriously worth your attention. So yeah, thank you for joining us as always. Yeah. And are you going to show them where to click to subscribe?
You get me on this every week. Hold on. Right. So here. Boom.
Just there.
Boom. Yeah. Right there.
So just hit your mouse over that button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and then you'll get notified when Dave does any of these loosely lowdowns, or whether the new vlog goes up. You know, you'll get to know about it first. So thank you as always for joining us on the Alakazam Video Blog.
Yeah, and we will see you next week.